Have you ever caught yourself looking up at the skies and wondering, does God exist? You're not alone. This question has haunted humanity for millennia, but it's been impossible to truly find out if there is a God or not. But recently, there have been advances in science. In this video, we will be exploring 3 recent scientific discoveries that support the existence of God. We will now review the 3 scientific discoveries supporting the existence of God. The first one is that the universe had a beginning. This is a theory that states that the universe had an actual beginning, which goes against the previous theory which stated that the universe was infinite and eternal. That model was called the steady state model, and it is a theory which has by now been rejected by the vast majority of astronomers. Instead, it has been replaced with the Big Bang. The Big Bang is a term that was coined by astronomer Sir Fred Hoyle in 1949. And the Big Bang in essence states that the entire universe began from a single point 13.77 billion years ago and began an expansion which goes on to this day. To support that, there is plenty of evidence, including cosmic microwave background radiation, which is measured and which was left over from the Big Bang. This radiation helps astronomers determine the age of the universe, which is stated at 13.77 billion years ago. This implies that the beginning of the universe had no time, matter, and space, and that time, matter, and space began with the Big Bang. Now, if we follow the law of causation, which states that every change in nature is produced by some cause, that implies that prior to the Big Bang, there was no time, matter, and space, and whatever created time, matter, and space had to be beyond it. So if there is a Big Bang, there needs to be a Big Banger beyond time, matter, and space, as described in Genesis 1, which says, "In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth." The second discovery is the origin of first life, which is best described as the lack thereof. In fact, the origin of first life has never been fully explained scientifically. Charles Darwin's theory of evolution cannot explain first life. Spontaneous generation of life, which is required by Darwinism, has never been observed, and life does not consist merely of chemicals. God is the best hypothesis for the origin of first life. As best described by Dr. James Tour, a world-leading synthetic organic chemist and specialist, he states, "The field hasn't advanced an inch in 60-plus years. Everyone's clueless on this, but no one wants to admit it. Great scientists writing in the highest-profile science journals are lying to you when they assert otherwise. Show me the chemistry of abiogenesis," he says. It's not there. The third discovery is the discovery of DNA in cells. DNA stands for deoxyribonucleic acid, and it is a molecule that contains the biological instructions that make each species unique. DNA, along with the instructions it contains, is passed from adult organisms to their offspring during reproduction. DNA contains the instructions needed for an organism to develop, survive, and reproduce. As Dr. Francis Collins, the director of Human Genome Project, says, "Think of DNA as an instructional script, a software program sitting in the nucleus of the cell." As stated by Anthony Flew, a famous former atheist who came to believe in God, what I think the DNA material has done is that it has shown, by the almost unbelievable complexity of the arrangements which are needed to produce life, that intelligence must have been involved in getting these extraordinarily diverse elements to work together. So the next time you find yourself looking up at the skies and wondering if God is there, remember these 3 scientific discoveries and realize that you're not alone.